Hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Just Simply Sports here with me. I am Kaja, and if you are new, I want you to please hit the like and subscribe button. If you're not new, you've been here, I appreciate your continued support. You guys, All-Star Weekend, it's here, it came, it's gone. We are moving past, or at least we should move past. Draymond Green made some very controversial, interesting comments this past weekend. I'm going to play the clip and then we'll get right back into it.
Not smart basketball no more. I saw a clip not too long ago where Kobe said, like, yo, it's accidental basketball. He couldn't have been more right. It was so refreshing to play against Bron because every possession is like a chess match. But you don't just get that on a regular basis. It's just who can run faster, who can hit more threes. It's no substance. And so I think it's very boring.
Now, for every action, as they say, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I'm going to play this clip from one of the OGs, Oscar Robertson, responding to Draymond Green's claims, and we'll get right back into it again.
Draymond said so much, who cares what Draymond said? It doesn't mean anything. People, this is what I mean, one guy can say this and one guy can say that. The game is what it is. People either like the game or they don't. And I think people enjoy the game, especially if their team can win. And if you look at the basketball, it might be boring to him because if he's not passing the ball to Curry, what's he doing?
I agree. Triple single is
not to single that out because I think he knows how to play basketball. He's passed his ball to Curry more than anyone I've ever seen in basketball.
Let me just start out by saying that Oscar Robertson looks phenomenal for someone in their 80s, 86 to be exact. Many, many blessings to him, more continued life, because I feel like a lot of times we underestimate just how precious life is. You could be here one day, gone the next, and to live to be in your 80s and still healthy and still cognizant and everything is so underrated. So I wish him nothing but the absolute best. Nothing but respect and admiration for him, what he's accomplished, what he's brought to the game of basketball, what he's done for generations that came after him, and what he did to move the game and help it evolve. Each one teach one. I always say that. But with all that being said, I respectfully disagree with what he had to say because I feel like when he spoke about Draymond and specifically the part where he spoke about Draymond passing the ball to Steph. That's not all that he does. And I feel like sometimes because it's Draymond, because he has the bad rap, the whole thing with Jordan Poole, the getting suspended, the being in referee's face and things like that, we kind of diminish and minimize, his contribution to the Warriors and to that dynasty. Dynasty being the operative word. There are not a lot of teams in professional sports that have a dynasty, and he's a crucial part of that. He's not someone who just sat on the bench at the end and came in for, 30 seconds for somebody to get a Gatorade break. Let's put some respect on Draymond Green's name, okay? 4-time NBA champion, 4-time NBA All-Star, 4-time All-Defensive First Team, 4-time All-Defensive Second Team, Defensive Player of the Year. I could go on and on about Draymond's accomplishments, but we're not going to sit here and just make it seem like he just passes the ball to Steph and he does absolutely nothing else for the Warriors. He is a full general for that team. He's a leader in that locker room. He, to me, is the point guard of that team. He facilitates everything. There was no one better to get Steph open than Draymond. He knows where Steph is almost at all times, it seems, and he knows what needs to be done to help that team win. And he does it better than nobody at all. So much so that the Warriors have now offered Draymond a head coaching position when he decides to retire and Steve Kerr moves on. That alone says what the Warriors think about him as an organization, the ownership. In spite of everything that has happened, it shows they think really highly of him and they trust him. So we're not going to make it seem like Draymond's just some regular, G League player who comes on a two-way contract, comes back and forth. That's absolutely not the case. Now, Draymond could have said a little bit nicer if it makes you feel better. He was someone who doesn't like someone to be a straight shooter. It's not what you say, but how you say it. But did he tell any lies, respectfully? When someone says something, let's all get past whether or not we like the person or not. Forget the person themselves. I'm looking at the message and what they're saying. And the reality of it is that did he tell a lie? The answer is no. He told nothing but the truth. The facts and stuff speak for themselves, you guys. All-Star Weekend, a day or so ago? Look in the stands. Go back and look at some of the clips. The stands were not filled. It was not a packed house. Jalen Brown even spoke about it. He was like, the stands are kind of empty. We should have it at Boston because he feels like Boston would have filled the arena up. So that alone says something. Adam Silver trying to be a freaking magician and pull, different tricks and things out of hat like a rabbit to get the players to want to show more effort, to get the fans to want to tune in and want to watch the game and buy tickets, all these different things. What does that tell you? Honestly speaking, Oscar Robertson, what does that tell you? That should say something to me. When you hear people, when you read comments on Instagram, TikTok about fans and the viewership being down tremendously, about how people they're tired of watching the game, just be all about threes. There's no creativity, no versatility. Everything is just threes, threes, and threes. That's kind of ironic that Draymond is someone that spoke about the threes because I feel like the Warriors are the ones who kind of revolutionized, the 3-point shooting, with Steph and Clay. But just because one team did it doesn't mean that everybody had to copy the one team. There are how many teams in the NBA? Why are we all doing what someone else did? Again, what happened to creativity? Shea. I love watching Shea play because I feel like he's one of the few players nowadays that focuses on the mid range. Most players just chunk up threes, don't want to go for little cute dunks here and there, but mostly it's just threes, and more threes. You have a Chicago Bulls team putting up over 73s a game when you're making not even half of that. So why are you doing that? Like, it makes absolutely no sense at all. If Why should fans continue to tune in to see different teams do the same exact thing? I'm wondering for myself as a fan, what do coaches talk about, really and truly? Because now it just seems like everybody comes out and just shoots threes. So why we even need to even have coaches, right? Really and truly, if when you have a timeout or the game plan is just shoot threes, whatever have you, then what are we doing it for? Joe Mazzulla said something interesting. Like people don't care. No, we don't complain about football. we don't complain about. No, we're not going to complain about football because nobody gets the touchdown the same way. If we saw every single game nothing but tush pushes, after a while, like, okay, let's like stop the tush push, right? If everybody was doing it the same way every single time, if I was just getting to the end zone the same exact way, it wouldn't be as fun or exciting to watch. It really and truly would not be. Interceptions, the pick sixes, the fumbles, all those things lead, sometimes to other opportunities to get to the end zone. So football is always going to be more exciting than basketball. But Oscar Robertson did speak about basketball being basketball. The game is the game. If you don't like it, then don't watch it. The game of basketball in itself, the object of the game is to get the ball into the rim, get the 2 points, get the 3 points. That is the game of basketball. However, what leads up to those points is what I'm talking about when I watch the game, or I think sometimes you guys are speaking about when you say you don't want to watch the game. Now, we don't want to see people doing the same thing every single time, and I feel like I wish Oscar would have spoken a little bit more about that when he talked about what Draymond said, because Draymond did have a point, as opposed to just saying the game was a game, if you don't like it, don't watch it. As someone who is a founding father, I would love if he would have said, when we used to play, we did more of this, we did more of that. I don't like how Draymond said what he said, but I understand it because, back in my day, we didn't have a 3-point line. We had to find other ways of still winning. We had to play more defense, whatever it may be, right? Because it's not my time, I'm a generation. But I wish he would have spoken about it in that light as opposed to just diminishing what Draymond Green spoke about and about his accomplishments. Again, we don't have to like Draymond. I love Draymond, but if you don't like him, I get it, right? He's an acquired taste, but one thing I will never do here on my channel, whether I like somebody or not as a player or, as a person, I'm never going to minimize someone's accomplishments and what they have brought to that team. And when it comes to the Warriors specifically, Draymond, I think what's all said and done, may have a statue outside of that Chase Center along with Steph and along with Klay Thompson, because those three, they are the core of that dynasty and why that team is revered the way it's revered, why they have the respect that they have, because of everything that they accomplished. There's no way around that. That's just the facts, you guys. We cannot pretend like that didn't happen, like it didn't exist. Despite how you feel about Draymond, he told not one lie. The ratings speak for themselves, empty stands speak for themselves, people not watching the games speak for themselves. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you agree with what Javon said, or are you Team Oscar? Let me know in those comments, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.